the world will be as one. Will be as one. One.
Good evening. I'd like to thank the Muncie Central High School Choir for their voices again this year. They came to us last year and they did a wonderful job again. Thank you. My name is Laura Taylor and I am the director for the Victim Advocate program here in Muncie. And every time I have to do this, I get extremely nervous because I have such respect for you families and what you have had to go through. I can never even imagine or put myself in the position that you've been in, and I don't try. All I can do is be here and let you know that we hear you, we understand the best that we can, and we acknowledge the victims of homicide for you. We've come together to acknowledge your loved ones that you've lost to homicide. Unfortunately, we've had to add several names this year. Homicide is one of the worst crimes possible. The devastation and destruction it leaves behind is indescribable, and it's never ending. This year's theme for the balloon release is Love Leaves a Memory. No matter how much time has passed, you're going to remember like it was yesterday, the day you heard that your loved one was murdered. You more than likely will remember what you were doing, where you were, and exactly how you found out. Because there was so much love there, the memories will be burned in your mind forever. But along with the bad are the good memories. Each of you have your own memories that will make you laugh, cry, and sometimes stop and reflect, and you'll think, man, I wish they were here. Your loved one may be physically gone, but as long as you hold the memories in your heart, they live. They live forever through you and the love that you've had for them. You'll never get a chance to see their lives evolve, but you'll be able to pass on the memories in stories and ensuring that they will not be forgotten. We are here today for that purpose. We will not let your loved ones be forgotten. We will not pretend the pain does not exist. The police officers, detectives, prosecutors, and victim advocates all share in your pain. No one can ever understand the grief that you go through unless you've lost someone to homicide. But when you hurt, we hurt. The city of Muncie hurts. So we come together today and will continue to come together every year to remind us all the names and faces of the victims of homicide and remember that they are with us. Thank you for coming, and please give a warm welcome to Terry Bailey on behalf of Mayor Dennis Tyler.
Thank you, Laura, and good evening. Her words were very powerful, very meaningful. Again, we can't begin to understand what you go through. But the way that you are honoring your family members tonight shows us how much we need to continue to reach out. We need to continue to hug. We need to continue to love. We need to continue to listen. So allow us to be there for you when we need to be there for you. Tell us when we don't need to be there for you. Help us to do that. I bring you greetings from the office of the mayor, and there is a proclamation that has been prepared just for this evening, and I would like to read it as follows. Whereas the Muncie Police Department's Victim Advocates is holding their 9th annual balloon release in remembrance of victims lost to homicide and violent crimes. And whereas honoring the memory of victims who have been taken by violence and acknowledging the resulting long-term trauma for families, communities, and the nation is an important way of promoting public awareness of the impact of violent crimes, as well as ensuring that lost loved ones are not forgotten. And whereas victims of homicide and violent crimes are not only those whose lives were taken, but also the family, friends, neighbors, and co-workers that were left behind to mourn and deal with the loss. And whereas families and friends gather each year releasing a balloon in honor of the loved ones lost to homicide. And whereas the City of Muncie's commitment to reassure every victim and their families that this community cares, and to offer information, support, and access to helpful services. Now, therefore, I, Honorable Dennis Tyler, Mayor of this great city of Muncie, Indiana, do hereby recognize April 20th, 2017 as a day of remembrance for victims of homicide, balloon release in the city of Muncie. By this action, let it be known that I, as mayor of this great city of Muncie, Indiana, urge all citizens to support those families who have suffered losses due to senseless crime and to give gratitude to those who are dedicated to the victims of crimes and their families by assisting them with finding services, encouragement, justice, and tranquility. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city to be affixed this 20th day of April, 2017, and it is signed Mayor Dennis Tyler. Again, God bless you all. Do what you can for others as you see them today across the aisle. I think some of you have seen each other over the years. I've seen you over the years. Touch someone today, whether it's through your heart or with your hand. God bless you.
Hello. The next person up in your program was the Muncie Police Chief, Joe Winkle, and he had something come up unexpectedly. So we have Marwin, did I say it right, Strong, who has volunteered to speak in his place. So please welcome Marwin.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to say my name is Marwin Strong. I'm with Enough is Enough movement. I was kind of hurtful just to see the names on the back of it, myself knowing at least 47 of those that lost their lives. One of those was my cousin, Eddie Phillips, that got gunned down a couple months ago. So it's real heavy on my heart. So I just want to say my thoughts and prayers go to everyone in attendance. I just can't say enough about myself almost being a victim in the year 1998. Myself almost lost my life. I was at a party, some guys poisoned me. I was in the hospital for 2 years. I was in a coma for a month. They had to teach me how to walk again and talk again like a baby. So I decided, do I want to go back out on the streets and lose my life? Because only two ways to the street: you're dead or in prison. Or do I want to change to be a better man, a better person to myself and my children, also the community of Muncie? And I decided to do that. I started a thing called Fight Against Drugs Advisor Corporation back in 2004. I was honored to be Star Press Person of the Year and meet President Barack Obama in the year 2007. A young man by the name of Dawan Walton lost his life by a stray bullet. Every year I have a candlelight vigil for him and others in this community. And this year in the Enough is Enough movement, we have over 1,380 people in supporting of this movement. Due to the heroin, the drugs, the violence, those things that was going on today, we need the community as a whole to come together. There's always saying to take a village to raise a child, but now take a village to raise a village. No matter what race, creed, gender, what you're in, we need to understand that we need each other. We need each other to fight this fight that we're living with, and it's an epidemic that we all must fight. It's so sad to see so many people die, myself being a clergyman and having to preach a young man through at the age of 21 years old. He died, and myself having to preach his funeral. It's hurtful, and it's hurtful for all of us. And myself, my prayers go to every last family in here, victim advocate as well. They're doing an awesome job, and God bless you. Thank you.
Next up, we have Shelby Looper, a victim advocate in our office, and she is going to read you the poem that's in your brochure in the Men's Center.
If you look on the back of the first page, Love Leaves a Memory, it's a poem. If you guys choose to read it with me, that'd be great. Those we love don't go away. They walk beside us every day. Unseen, unheard, but always near. Still loved, still missed, and very dear. For death leaves a heartache no one can heal, and love leaves a memory no one can steal. Thank you.
Next up, kind of flying through this a little bit, huh? Or slow down a second. Is Ray Dudley, the Delaware County Sheriff, has agreed to come speak for us as well this evening.
Well, first of all, I just want to tell each and every one of you that I'm sorry for what happened to you and your family and your loved ones. Once again, like other people here, don't know what you're going through and never will, I hope. One thing that I can tell you, though, under my watch in the Sheriff's Department, we're working really hard to try to prevent any of this kind of things to happen to any of the citizens of Delaware County. If it does happen, our officers are out there working 24/7 to make sure that we bring the people responsible for these crimes to justice, as well as the prosecutor's office does a wonderful job of that, and so does other law enforcement officers in Delaware County. I think us as a community, we've kind of laxed a little bit. I really believe that we need to start looking at ourselves and start being better neighbors to one another and start watching our surroundings, because a lot of these crimes can be prevented, but it's going to take all of us in the community. We have 117,000 people in Delaware County, and I really believe that all of us have a part in this. Who knows, if you look out your window and you see something going on with two people and you call the police and we prevent a heinous crime like this from happening. But it's going to take all of us to pull our blinds up and start worrying about our neighbors, our people around us. Because if we're not worrying about them, they're not worrying about us, and crimes are going to continue to happen. Feel free to call us at the Sheriff's Department anytime you think something's going on. We'll respond no matter where it's at. Once again, thank you guys very much.
And we have Deputy Prosecutor Judy Calhoun.
The moment I knew that you had died, my heart split in two. One side filled with memories, the other died with you. I often lay awake at night when the world is fast asleep and take a walk down memory lane with tears upon my cheek. Remembering you is easy. I do it every day. But missing you is a heartache that never goes away. I hold you tightly within my heart, and there you will remain. Life has gone on without you, but will never be the same. Don't tell me that you understand. Don't tell me that you know. Don't tell me that I will survive and how I will surely grow. Don't tell me that this is just a test and that I am truly blessed, that I am chosen for the task apart from all the rest. Don't come to me with answers that can only come from me. Don't tell me that my grief will pass, that soon I will be free. Don't stand in pious judgment of the bonds I must untie. Don't tell me how to grieve, and don't tell me when to cry. Accept me in my ups and downs. I need someone to share. Just hold my hand and let me cry and say, my friend, I care. I didn't write those words, but I think every one of us can feel what's in that sentiment. I know exactly where I was 16 years ago when I got the call about my cousin. I'm not a mother, I'm not a sister, but I am a family member, and so I do feel the pain. My cousin was, I've mentioned it before, and you guys have heard the stories, probably the goofiest guy in the world. And every holiday we miss him. And every day his family sits here and they miss him. His nieces and nephews are grown, one's getting married, and he's not there. And each of you sit here today exactly the same position. And none of us can take away that pain. As the prosecutor's office, unfortunately, we always meet through the wrong circumstances in the worst time of your grief, in a situation that I would never wish upon anybody. Through those years, some of us become friends, but it's not a friendship I would ever have welcomed because of the circumstances. The prosecutor's office tries to pick up the pieces and try to prove if a crime occurred. Sometimes it's difficult, and I'll be honest with you, it is. How many times do we have a situation where someone has died, yet no one comes forward? No one wants to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, that makes it tough on my office. I'm not sure if this is the time to preach, but they give me a microphone, so why not? People need to step up. Just like the sheriff said, not only do you have to watch out for your back door, watch out for your neighbors. If something happens, you must say something. The prosecutor's office and a lot of them are here today, and I appreciate them coming because they are here to support you as family members. But our lives are so much difficult when we do these cases when we don't have the witnesses and we don't have the evidence. So if you can take one thing from me, realize that this is our community. We must take it back. We must prevent the crimes from occurring. These stats may be a little old, but what I heard was one violent crime occurred in the U.S. every 22.1 seconds. An aggravated assault every 34.6 seconds. A murder every 33.9 seconds. I've been talking for 2 or 3 minutes. How many people have lost their lives because of violence? I've said this many times. We used to call this a fraternity that no one wanted to join. I looked up, a fraternity means a group of people sharing a common profession or interest, or the state of telling of friendship and mutual support within a group, a brotherhood. What I want to call us is a family. A family, we call those that are related or belonging to a group. A group of individuals who share a common bond, usually legal or genetic. But what a true family really is, shares values, beliefs, and traditions. Unfortunately, in this case, common experiences and activities. But most importantly, unconditional, non-judgmental support. As I said, I stand here today not just from the prosecutor's office, from our prosecutor, Jeff Arnold, the other deputy prosecutors, our chief deputy, Eric Hoffman. We have another prosecutors back there, Steve Sneed, Marisol Stiles, and other investigators as well. We're here to say that we're sorry for your loss. But I stand here today not just as a deputy prosecutor, but as a family member of someone who lost their life to violence. I joked even with my cousin, I always remember him wearing a jean jacket. I don't know if he ever did. I don't know how often he did. In my memory, he did. And so today I wore a jean jacket for him. We all do those things for our family members, as silly as they may be. Continue to do that. Continue to remember him or her. If it takes setting an extra seat at Christmas dinner, whatever it works for you. The best thing we can ever do for our loved ones is continue to love them, but continue to talk about them. As I said, we are a family. We are a support system for each other. Our love is unconditional and not judgmental. We'll never judge you for feeling grief, no matter how many years may have passed. For my family who sits here, it's been 16 years. For you, it may have been longer. Or for some of you, unfortunately, more recently. If you need to talk, obviously, you can always call our office. The victim advocate, it's an invaluable source for us as prosecutors, and I thank them for the work they do. To all of you, God bless you. I'm so sorry for your loss. We will always continue to be a family. We will always continue to support you if we need you, if you need us. Thank you.
We are going to have the reading of the names. The TVs are on up here as well. So I know some of you guys are new and have not been here before. So joining us today, what we'll do is, as my other advocates are going to read the names of the victims, there will be a slideshow that watches as well. As your family member's name is called, feel free to stand and just take a moment, and then as long as you need, you can have a seat, and then we'll go on to the next name. So.
Jamel Barnes. Gary Barber. Jamie Beatty. Sandra Bellamy. David Boyle. Joni Brooks. Monica Brown. James Burton. William Jean Burton. Hector Cadillo Jr. Sebastian Cisneros, Luann Cox, Tammy Craycraft, Terry Davis, Ethan Dixon, Kimberly Dowell, Sam Drummer, James Edwards, Zachary Farmer, Maggie Mae Fleming, Bonnie Franks, Teresa French, Paula Garrett, Christine Justrich, Mark Gilland, Carolyn Goodwin, Charles Graham, Shannon Greenwalt, William Gump, Marco Hampton, Carl Harford, Mark Hitson, Angela Overbey Huser, Tamika Huff, Tanya Ingram, Carl Huxhold, and then Tanya Ingram, David Irwin, Jeremy Johnson, Jim Johnson, Joseph Johnson, Karen Jones, Howard Journey Jr., Nikki Kuntz, and her unborn daughter, Lonnie Kuntz.
Sounds like the balloon just popped. Okay. Casey Krebs, Rick Coomer, Kimberly Lumen, Juan Lucio, Chris Massengale, Lauren McConnell, Albert Miller, Emma Miller, Frank Leon Miller, James Moore, Ruby Dean Moore, Jason Morris, Dennis Lee Morton Jr., Chad Neese, Lisa Nettie Peterson, Eddie Phillips, Marie Pierre, Raymond Pinnock, Jeffrey Purnell, Garth Rector, Tim Rees, Tim Ressler Jr., Chuck Rice, Lester Richardson II. Bear. Michael Riley. Ronnie Roberts. Rafael Rodriguez. James Seldomridge. Angie Schaus. Robert Smith. Jennifer Stafford. William Stover Laudermilt. Heather Garden, excuse me. James Tricker Jr. Jensen Wallace. Dwan Walton. Deborah Williams. Tanisha Williams. Greg Winters. Kim Witherspoon. Antron Young. Tanisha Young.
Next up, we have the chaplain to say a prayer, but I was looking around and I did not see him in the audience. Did Kevin Widget show up? No? Okay, so last year we just skipped this part because we had the same issue. The chaplain didn't show up last year. Different guy even. So is there anyone that's willing to come up and say a short prayer for the program? Kind of putting anybody on the spot? Okay, thank you.
See if I can do this. I'm Angie Rector. Everybody bow their heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you, each and individual families, and we just ask you for your comfort, your strength, and your just heal our hearts and bring us together. But just please, just be with us and be with the law enforcement to help us find who did this to our families, and it won't bring them back, but Jesus, please just be with each and every one of the people in this house, in this room, and the people that help us, that stick with us, and just bless each one. And I just pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Angie. We have a support group for families of homicide victims. So we send some information out in the mail, and you kind of get that periodically, but we have a member who would like to come up and give you a little bit of information on that while you guys are all here today. Her name's April Lemon.
Thank you. Thank you for the hard work that you guys put into this. I know you guys pour your heart and soul into it. And from us to you, thank you. Thank you. As she mentioned, I'm April Lemon. We're going on 17 years since my cousin was murdered here in town. To echo Judy, to echo Marwin, we're all in this together. This is a club that none of us asked to be a part of. They wanted me to talk about the support group. We started it a few years ago because we all need each other. To relive those memories, those feelings of those first few hours even. Sometimes it helps us just get through to know that someone else understands.
We didn't have this group 17 years ago when we first started going through this. We were flying blind. We had no idea what to feel, what was right, what was wrong. What we didn't know was there is no right or wrong. It just is. You don't get through you don't get over this. You never get over this. But we have to get through it, and we're only going to get through it together. So I want to urge all of you, please make sure you sign your name, your email, with your email address, your home address, and watch for those flyers to come through your mail, through your email. We've started sort of a Facebook, just to let everybody know when these meetings are. We've kind of suspended them because it's always just the same few people. We want you all to know that we are here for you. You guys are just going through this. You're just starting out on this journey. And it's a journey. This is your new normal. We want to be there for you. And if you come, you know, you'll understand that we are family. And again, this is your new normal. And I'm so sorry that you're here. I'm so sorry that we're all here. But we are all welcome at this support group so that we can be there for one another. So again, make sure that you sign up so that they can get you the information on when the next meeting will be. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, April. Okay. Get over my public speaking fear I got going on right now. First and foremost, I would like to thank everyone for coming this evening. Thank you to my coworkers for helping make tonight possible. I go kind of crazy this week of the year every year. It started off a stressful week, and I have to laugh about it or I'm going to cry. Monday morning, we had no balloons at all. Our supplier just didn't want to supply for this event anymore. So calmed down a little bit and got that taken care of. So I definitely would like to thank Super Rent, swept in, saved the day, provided us with all of our balloons today. So they took the stress off. So huge thank you to them for making that possible. It's normally not the thank you I give up here, but if you would have seen me Monday morning, you would know why. Yeah, so the circumstances that have led us here this evening, they're ones that you'll never forget, and we will never forget. At last year's balloon release, I think I said it in my thank you last year, we added 4 names in 2015 to 2016. Last week when I was doing this PowerPoint, I added 8 names for 2016 to 2017. That's not a number that we like to see grow. It's bittersweet, kind of like I think Judy had mentioned. We made these friendships and these connections with you guys, but it's not ones that we would choose that way. With the loss and pain in the community, we've grown to know all of you. It's an honor for our office to walk through this process with you, and this is where I'll start crying. We again would like to thank everyone for coming this evening. Your loved ones are gone, but they will never be forgotten. So thank you for letting us be there for you and attending. A few housekeeping things before we go outside. There are balloons out here to the right. If everybody wants to grab a balloon, there are markers on the table. You can write anything you want on your balloon, draw on it, whatever you want to write a message, that sort of thing. Just take your time, but everybody will file outside. Once we get outside, we're going to wait a few minutes. They're going to try to get a drone to get the picture aerial view of all the balloons coming up and everyone underneath it and all that this year. So we're going to take a few minutes for that. Once everybody gets outside and we'll get everything underway, we'll have a countdown and everybody can release the balloons. The wind is blowing that direction, like toward the mall. So we tested one out. We're good as far as experience. We're good with trees and stuff this year, so it's all going that way. So that's kind of what to expect next. There's also out here on this table, there's a little memory card with a token on it. Feel free to take those. We have plenty. There's 200 of them out there. Take as many of them as you want if you have family members. They have our quote from this evening as well on there, so help yourself to those on the way out. Thank you.